Hi guys, so on the way here, back again for a video on the channel. In this one today then, I'll be discussing Swansea City's latest signing, Ethan Galbraith from Leyton Orient for £1.5 million. Now, I am buzzing with this signing, but before I get on to the topic and discuss with you guys what we can expect from Ethan Galbraith and how great of a signing this it could be, it's a bit more of a serious topic I just want to quickly talk about. Of course, yesterday we had some breaking news that Liverpool forward Diego Jota and his brother, who is also a professional footballer in the second tier of Portuguese football, Andre Silva, both sadly passed away in a car crash in Spain. Now, of course, death is unfortunately part of our lives, but 28 is such a young age, and you know, this has kind of hit me a little bit hard. Like, I've seen footballers pass away before when they've been playing, but no one as big as this in my lifetime. And I've seen him play at the Liberty, Swans.com Stadium. He scored, great player. And, you know, he just really gives you a thought on life. And I don't want to get too deep into this because realistically, it's a Swans fan. I want to talk about Swansea. But, yeah, life is so unpredictable, man. So I just want to make sure you guys, you know, if you're feeling down, go and talk to someone, man. Make the most of your life, because tomorrow we may not be here. So, yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with Diego and his family and Andre's family as well. But, yeah, such a sad loss for the footballing world. And, of course, recently married, 3 young children. Just absolutely heartbreaking, and my thoughts and prayers go to Diego Jota and Andre Silva. So let's get back onto the football then. So Ethan Galbraith, 24 years old, has signed from League One side Leyton Orient, who did get into the playoff final last season, unfortunately losing to Charlton Athletic in the end. Swans have agreed a £1.5 million fee for the Northern Irish midfielder, and we have beat a host of clubs for this signature. Huddersfield, who of course have been spending a bit of money in League One, trying to get back to the Championship. They were interested. Sheffield United were interested as well before Chris Wilder got sacked. There was also rumours of Birmingham potentially being linked with Galbraith as well, but thankfully he has chose Swansea City. Now, Ethan Galbraith is a midfielder who is very versatile, can play at right wing back and can slot in at right back as well, and can also play further up the pitch in a number 10 position. He played 51 times last season in all competitions for Leyton Orient, which is simply remarkable. Does show that there is probably too many games, but Ethan Galbraith showed his fitness levels last season and played 51 times. He scored 6 goals and also assisted 8. So for a bit of a defensive midfielder and a right back at times last season, that's very, very good stats in terms of goal contributions. Now, in terms of his younger career, he was at Manchester United's Youth Academy from 2017 to 2023. So 6 years at Manchester United's Youth Academy. Now, I know everyone will make jokes how bad Man United are, but at the end of the day, you're not really a bad player if you come through one of the big 6 clubs. If you're signed for a big 6 club and through their academy, you know, you've got something about you. Between 2021-22 season, he went on loan at Doncaster, and in the 22-23 season, he was at Salford before signing permanently for Leyton Orient on a free transfer. He made 96 appearances for Leyton Orient over 2 seasons, which is crazy. A lot of games for 2 years for Leyton Orient there. He made 1 senior appearance for Manchester United as well, coming off the bench in one of their Europa League games, so did actually get a senior appearance for Manchester United, which is very good for him. On the 26th of October last year, the manager, Richie Wellings, praised Ethan's performances and predicted he'd have a very successful career in the Premier League in the future. Now, such high praise for a player who's only 23 at the time, and, you know, for a team in League One, you know, that's just remarkable to be getting called up by a manager. And also the Northern Irish manager at the time, obviously it's not the manager they got now, who obviously is Michael O'Neill, former Stoke manager. This was their former boss who gave him his debut. The Northern Irish manager described Ethan Galbraith as this country's version of Xavi and Iniesta. Now, Northern Ireland obviously are not as good as Spain, but when you're getting dubbed as the Northern Irish Xavi and Iniesta, mine's you Leon Brun, and obviously Joe Allen, the Welsh Pirlo. So yeah, such high praise for Galbraith. I've done a lot of TikToks recently. If you want to follow my TikToks, all my social medias will be down below, by the way, guys. I've done a lot of TikToks about this potential signing, and obviously it's now been confirmed. And a big shout to Leyton Orient fans who have been so thankful in the TikTok comment sections and just been praising the signing. Even on Twitter, there's not been one bad Leyton Orient fan opinion on this player, which just shows he's got great attitude. You know, he's not handling a transfer request. He's, you know, he probably would have stayed Leyton Orient if he couldn't get his move this summer. Maybe gone on a free next season. But, he seems like a down-to-earth guy, works hard, plays a lot of games, very versatile, doesn't matter where you play him, whether you play a right-back, central midfielder, attacker midfielder. I don't think he'd complain if he was on the bench. But, yeah, really, really like the look at this signing. Now, unfortunately, with this signing, slight downward in terms of Lewis O'Brien. Now, with Galbraith coming in, highly unlikely O'Brien will come now due to the fact that Galbraith would play in Lewis O'Brien's position. So, yeah, it's very unlikely O'Brien will come. But again, we've replaced a loan player with a permanent signing, which is very, very good as well. We did put a bid in for him in the January transfer window, £750,000. But obviously, it was very late on in the window, and Leyton Orient were not going to let one of the best players leave when they were having a very successful season unless it was silly money. But yeah, he's expected to sign a 4-year contract, so a nice long-term contract for him. He also has 7 caps for Northern Ireland, so another player Swansea City have signed this summer with international experience. And obviously 7 caps isn't great, but obviously he's still quite young as well. So hopefully we'll see him at the World Cup next year if Northern Ireland can qualify through the World Cup qualification stages. But yeah, Leyton Orient fans, if you are watching this video, please let me know what we can expect from Ethan Galbraith if I've missed out on anything. And Swansea City fans, let me know down below, how excited are you for this season? Richard Montague, what an addition he's been now. I know we've said this in the past about transfer windows and players on paper, but honestly, this signing looks simply remarkable. The stats, the pass progression and all that, the Twitter nerds, what they like to put out of the conversion XG, XP, expected passes, whatever you want to call it these days. But yeah, all the stats are superb, and like I said, for him to say he only wants Swansea, it just shows how good we are moving as a club right now. Now, I know this could be fault in 4 months' time if we're bottom of the league. You never know. Football's a funny old game. But on paper, man, we've had such a strong start to the window. And one thing I've been really impressed with is this is our 6th summer signing. Potentially 5, 6 if you count Weidel, I believe. And it's all before pre-season. So we're going to have 6 players coming in now to Swansea for the first ever time, playing for the Mighty Jacks, as you can see there, for the first time. And they're going to have a pre-season. They're going to be going to Spain. They're going to be going to Cheltenham, Exeter, proper stadiums, proper EFL stadiums. And they're going to gel. Now, the only thing coming into the back of my head here is we've had such a good window, so many good players coming through in terms of having a pre-season. Something's going to go wrong. And I just beg to God none of them get injured in pre-season. It would just be our luck if we have 1 or 2 players with a long-term injury so they didn't get a pre-season. But it does concern me that we've not had a big player sale yet. Obviously, Darling left on a free transfer, which was gutted, but Cameron Burgess arguably is a better player and also is a left-footed centre-back. So playing out from the back now, Cabango, Darling haven't got to invert because Burgess can play left centre-back as he's left-footed, and Cabango can just play on his preferable right-hand side. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Ethan Galbraith sign. Like I said, I haven't watched too much of him. I did watch him against Stockport, but I wasn't really focused on him as I was, just watching in the background. But like I said, when you've signed a player from a club, they could easily be salty. Don't wish him the best of luck. But every single Leyton Orient fan is wishing him the best of luck. And I've got to say, Swans and Leyton Orient, what a club, man. Swans have got such a good relationship with Leyton Orient. When we were having our troubles under Tony Petty, where Swans could have gone down to non-league, out of the Football League, and we were getting sold for £1. And yeah, I don't really remember that because, it was like a month old, something like that. But, Leyton Orient fans backed us. They even had like their own banners saying, hopefully, obviously the band didn't say this, but you get my gist that hopefully Swansea can get back to where they were and get some proper owners in. And, gotta win Leyton Orient in Cup because it'd be great to see Leyton Orient back in the Championship. But look, Darren Pratley also retired from Leyton Orient yesterday. So if any of you Swans fans don't know who Darren Pratley is, don't come on my channel again. That man is a hero. He's the one, if someone is young, I'll explain quickly. Pratley was at Swansea for 5 seasons. And was the person who scored that goal against Forest from the halfway line to take us to Wembley. And obviously, as soon as we got to the Premier League, he went to Bolton. But, more money in that. But yeah, what a career Darren Pratley's had. Now, I know I'm going off a little bit of a tangent. But I just had to mention how great Darren Pratley is. 40 years old and retired. But yeah, Leyton Orient, man, what a club. And hopefully you guys come up. But anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And welcome to Swansea City, Ethan Galbraith. What a signing on paper. Swansea City, what are we doing this summer? It's been so bloody good. Now keep it that way, and touch wood, none of these new signings get injured in pre-season, because that would be a disaster. But anyway, Ethan Galbraith to Swansea City is confirmed. Welcome to Swansea City, Mr. Galbraith.
I need one more chance. Oh, baby, let me show you. I need one more chance. Oh.